What's up guys? Today we have an awesome amp review. I'm really excited to do this one. This is the smallest amplifier that I have had in my hands to date. So this is the DS18 X4 4-channel. And it's listed everywhere as the DS18 X4 1400 watt. But we know that's not true, so I'm assuming that's peak power. But they do give you RMS ratings in the box. And this is rated at 770 times 4 at 4 ohm, 140 times 4 at 2 ohm, and it is bridgeable 2-channel, 220 watts at 4 ohm in 2-channel mode. So really cool amplifier. They give you an instruction manual, some mounting screws, and you also get a cool DS18 lanyard that they threw in there for you. So really nice amp. This thing is so small, guys. Like here is a small USB flash drive. It's actually so small it's weird. So if this puts out 70 times 4 at 4 ohm, that's going to be pretty sick. So let's get the tape measure out. So it comes in with the mounting tabs. So longest distance 5.5 inches long. And on the width, we got 3.25 inches wide. So this thing is tiny. And here's just a quick look at the manual. As you can see, it does show that the crossovers are fixed. The high and low pass, they're fixed at 80 Hertz. And you can also see the specs and some other information. And on this end, you do have your 4 RCA ends. You have a 2-channel, 4-channel switch, and that's for if you just want to run 2 RCAs in. You can still have your 4 channels out. It also has selectable gain knobs. Now the crossovers, it has high and low pass, but they are not customizable. They're switches, and they're set at 80 Hertz. And then you have your power protect light. I can't get over how small this is. I mean, crazy. And on this end, you get, it looks like an electronics connector, and the highest gauge you can fit in here is 12 gauge, but this is your power remote and all your speaker outs on this side, and that is removable. So like if you ever wanted to pull your amp out, you just unplug that whole connector and you don't have to undo all your individual wires. So pretty cool amp. I'm excited to see what this does. I was looking for a couple tiny amps to fit in a really small space, so I thought I'd check this out. So let's go ahead and get this thing hooked up and see what it does. All right, we got this DS18 X4 4-channel hooked up. As you can see, there's the blue power light, and that is a protect light as well, double function. So let's go ahead and get started and see if this thing can put out rated power. Alright, here we go. 4-channel, 4 ohm mode. Specs say 70 watts. Oh man. 74 watts times 4 out of this little amplifier? I almost can't believe that. That's pretty good. So it did over specs, which said 70 times 4. It did 74. And we'll do dynamic later, but let's go ahead and try the 2 ohm test. So it'll be 4 channels, 2 ohm, which it says it's rated at 140 times 4. Alright, let's go ahead and switch the DL14 to 2 ohm. And specs say 140 times 4, which I don't know if we're going to make that one out of this little tiny amp, but we'll see. Hopefully it does. It did really good at 4 ohm. Alright, so we didn't get that. We got 110 watts times 4 at 2 ohms. That's still good for this thing's size. I still can't believe it. But it did not hit the 140 times 4 at 2 ohm. Alright, so now we're bridged in 2-channel mode, and this amp is only stable to 4 ohm bridged, and it's rated at 220 times 2. So let's see if it can do it. Right there, 214 watts times 2 bridged at 4 ohm. Let's go ahead and do the dynamic real quick. Reset everything. Dynamic 2-channel mode, 4 ohm. There we go. 243 watts times 2. Not bad, man. I'm super impressed by this amplifier. It's so freaking tiny. It's almost looks silly. You know what I mean? Like, it's so small. And right now we got the 2 channels bridge, so not bad either. A little tiny bit warm, but not bad at all. I'm super impressed by this, man, because, I mean, you know, I have amps that are 10 inches by 10 inches that put out 80 times 4 and 100 times 4. So to get something that's this tiny, look, there's a pin. Crazy. 2 ohm dynamic burst. See if it can do a little more than the 110 it did uncertified. Alright, a little more. 116 watts times 4 at 2 ohms. Alright, let's do 4 ohm, 4 channel dynamic. Set the DL14 to 4 ohm. See if it can do any more than the 70 watts it did uncertified. A little tiny bit more maybe, but about the same on dynamic 4 ohm. Not bad though, man, for this small of an amp. If you don't have room, I still can't believe how small it is. It looks funny because it's so small almost. It almost was like if you went and like showed your girl this amp, she'd laugh at you because it's so small, if you know what I mean. Okay, so here's the final results. The amp did pretty good. The efficiency was so-so, and actually for this size of amplifier, the efficiency is decent. Nothing extra special. Dynamic at 4 ohm didn't really change anything, did about the same. And dynamic 4-channel 2 ohm did a little more at 116 watts, and then 2-channel dynamic 4 ohm did 243 watts, so quite a bit more. Alright, let's see how this little amp sounds. So that was moderate volume. Let's crank it up and see how much it pumps these woofers. And these are 130 RMS components. Okay, I got the overhead lights turned up high in here. I wanted to do a gut shot, and I was curious because this little amp sounded so good. I was wondering if it was a chip amp or not, but how it's designed, only the end panels come off. The case is one just solid piece. The screws on the back only hold the board to the heatsink case. But looking in here, I don't see a chip which I almost assumed this was a little chip amp because it's so small. And I don't see a chip. I see a large toroidal power supply and then 4 on each channel. And then on opposite sides of the board, you have the MOSFET transistors. So it looks like a actually nice little tiny half bridge, or maybe it's a full bridge. I haven't seen any full bridges built quite like this, but I'm not an amp expert. Maybe like Bearvids could chime in or something if he knows anything about this. But so that's the best I could do on that for you guys. But it looks pretty good inside. I was surprised to see that. Well, there you have it, guys. That's the end of this one. And this little amplifier did great. Honestly, I didn't expect it to do as good as it did for how small it is. And I was surprised that the sound quality was very nice. I didn't hear a lot of noise. The highs were crisp and clear. The lows came through very well. It was pumping the bass. It is quite a powerful little amplifier. If you guys need something small, I'd definitely check this out. So it sounds good. I'll put a couple links in the description if you guys want to check it out. The prices kind of vary. I think it's about $150, which if you need something this small that still puts out good power, that's not too bad, man. You know? So, alright guys, well thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time.